Silence. It's the most misunderstood power in the world. People today think success is about being loud, showing everything, proving something to everyone. But real power doesn't need to prove itself. Real winners don't talk, they move. They don't post every step, they prepare in the dark. Because they understand one truth: the world respects results, not noise. Everywhere you look, people are chasing attention, sharing their plans, announcing their dreams, begging for validation. But here's the thing no one tells you: when you talk too much about what you're going to do, your brain feels like it's already done it. You lose the hunger, you lose the fire, you lose the focus. The moment you start telling everyone your goals, you invite doubt, jealousy, and distraction into your space. That noise begins to shape your decisions, and slowly it kills your momentum. Silence is not weakness, it's protection, it's strategy. It's where the strongest minds sharpen themselves. Because when you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you start hearing yourself more clearly. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop caring who's watching and start focusing on what's working. You begin to understand that energy wasted on validation is energy stolen from elevation. Winners move differently. They don't post their every step. They let the results appear suddenly, like lightning out of a clear sky. People see them and think it happened overnight. But it didn't. It happened in silence. It happened in the unseen hours, the long nights, the quiet mornings when no one was cheering and no one believed. You see, silence is not empty. It's full of answers. It's where you learn to trust yourself. It's where you build resilience, discipline, and clarity. It's where you realize that applause doesn't build success, consistency does. Every time you choose to stay quiet and work instead of talk, you multiply your power. You become unpredictable, unstoppable, and unshakable. The loud ones seek recognition, the silent ones seek mastery. The loud ones announce goals, the silent ones achieve them. The loud ones want credit, the silent ones want growth. And when it's all said and done, the world only remembers one thing: the results. So, the next time you feel the urge to tell someone your plans, pause. Remember, not everyone deserves to know your next move. Some people pray for your success, others pray for your failure. Protect your vision. Guard your energy, move in silence until it's time to speak through your achievements. Because when you finally show the world what you've built, they'll wonder how you did it. They'll ask where you were, how you disappeared, how you rose so fast. And you'll smile, not because you need to explain, but because you know one thing they don't silence was your weapon, and patience was your power. That's the difference between those who chase attention and those who command respect. Winners don't need to announce their rise. The world will hear their success loud enough when it arrives. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. The loudest person in the room usually has the least progress to show, while the quiet one is building something the world won't see until it's ready. Real strength doesn't need to make noise because it knows that results are the loudest sound of all. In a world that glorifies constant talking, posting, and showing off, silence has become a rare power, the kind of power that creates giants in private. When you're silent, you learn to listen. You start hearing what others miss, the lessons hidden in failure, the opportunities disguised in struggle, and the truth buried under the noise of other people's opinions. Silence gives you awareness, and awareness gives you control. It allows you to move without interference, to grow without resistance, and to win without validation. The quiet person in the room isn't disconnected, they're focused. They're studying the room, learning patterns, reading energy, and planning their next move. While others are busy speaking, they're observing. And observation is what leads to precision. People think that silence is passive, but it's one of the most active forms of power there is. It's the art of restraint, of knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. It's the ability to let your actions talk louder than your words ever could. The loud ones crave attention because they mistake visibility for value. They think being seen means being successful. But the truth is, the moment you need attention to feel relevant, you've already lost your edge. The quiet one doesn't need applause. They don't need to convince anyone that they're doing something great because they are too busy doing it. They move differently, think differently, and work differently. They understand that true growth happens in the dark, away from eyes, away from judgment, away from noise. The seed doesn't announce its growth underground. It silently prepares for the moment it will break through the surface. That's how real success works. You build quietly until the world has no choice but to notice. Silence also protects your energy. Every word you speak, every story you share, takes a piece of your mental focus. When you spend your time telling people what you're going to do, you give them power over your vision. Some will doubt you, some will discourage you, and some will secretly hope you fail. Their opinions plant seeds in your mind, seeds of hesitation and fear. But when you stay silent, your vision stays pure. It's protected from negativity, from judgment, from distraction. There's a reason why great leaders, creators, and visionaries often disappear before they rise. They go silent because they're building. They know the world doesn't need to see their process, only their result. The power of silence is that it keeps people guessing. It makes your next move unpredictable. No one can destroy what they can't see coming. The loudest people in the room spend their time explaining. The quiet ones spend theirs executing. While others are seeking validation, they're stacking victories. When the loud ones are celebrating small wins for attention, the silent ones are preparing for greatness that will echo for years. Silence is not about hiding, it's about focus. It's about protecting your momentum from being scattered. It's about using your energy for creation, not conversation. There's a unique kind of peace that comes from silence. You stop needing to prove anything. You stop performing for the world. You simply work. And in that work, you build confidence, discipline, and results. You stop reacting to people's noise and start directing your path. You start to understand that noise fades fast, but impact lasts. When you choose silence, you choose power. You become a storm in the making, calm on the surface, but unstoppable beneath. People may underestimate you because they can't see what's coming. That's the advantage. The less they know, the more freedom you have. The fewer opinions you hear, the clearer your purpose becomes. Silence also teaches humility. It reminds you that success doesn't need an audience. The greatest achievements often come from those who spent years in quiet preparation. Every champion trained when no one was watching. Every great thinker spent time alone with their thoughts. Every innovator failed privately before they changed the world publicly. Silence gives you that space to grow without pressure. It gives you room to fail, learn, and evolve without the world's judgment. And when the time comes, when your preparation meets opportunity, your silence turns into sound. But it's not the sound of talking, it's the sound of impact. It's the noise of your results echoing through the world. The same people who overlooked you will start asking how you did it. The same ones who doubted you will want to learn from you. And the best part is you won't even need to say a word. Your success will do all the talking. So while others are busy trying to be noticed, be the one who's busy getting ready. Let them laugh, let them underestimate you, let them forget you. Because when it's your time, they won't be able to ignore you. Remember, silence isn't emptiness, it's full of creation. It's the space where vision turns into reality. The loudest person in the room is often the weakest. The one who's quiet is usually the most dangerous, not because they're hiding something, but because they're building something. They're not wasting words, they're investing action. They're not chasing attention, they're chasing mastery. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it's the presence of power. It's the shield that protects your focus, the soil where growth happens, and the space where greatness is born. The world may not see you now, but one day, your silence will make more noise than their words ever did. When you move in silence, you protect your vision from noise, judgment, and doubt. You stop explaining your dreams to people who can't see them and start proving them through results. Because not everyone deserves access to your process. Some people only want to know what you're doing so they can measure it against their own insecurities. Others will project their fears onto you, telling you what can't be done simply because they never did it themselves. That's why silence is protection. It shields your purpose from the world's opinions before it's strong enough to stand on its own. When you speak too soon, you open the door for doubt to enter. Every time you share a dream with someone who doesn't believe in you, you invite their disbelief into your own mind. They may not mean harm, but their words echo. They plant seeds of hesitation that grow quietly inside you. Before you know it, you start second-guessing yourself, wondering if maybe they're right. That's how dreams die, not through failure, but through doubt. Silence removes that risk. When you move quietly, you build your confidence privately. You fail privately. You learn privately. And when you finally show the world what you've been working on, it's too late for anyone to stop it. The truth is, not everyone will understand your vision. They can't because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. Your path, your fire, your calling are uniquely yours. So why waste time explaining your blueprint to people who don't even know what you're building? Every minute spent defending your dream is a minute stolen from working on it. Silence keeps you focused on what matters, execution, not explanation. Moving in silence doesn't mean isolation, it means discipline. It means you understand that energy is limited, and you'd rather invest it in building than in talking. The loudest people talk about what they'll do. The quiet ones are already doing it. They don't need validation, they need progress. And progress is built in private, brick by brick, far from the noise of opinions and the spotlight of judgment. When you move in silence, you take control of your narrative. You decide what the world sees and when it sees it. There's a certain strength in mystery. It keeps people guessing, keeps them wondering how you're doing what you're doing. The less they know, the more they speculate. And while they're busy talking, you're busy growing. Silence gives you the element of surprise. It allows your success to arrive unannounced and undeniable. People underestimate silence because they confuse it with inaction. But silence doesn't mean you're not working. It means you're working smart. You're protecting your plans from premature exposure, from people who might not wish you well, or from those who might discourage you simply because they don't see the world the way you do. When you move quietly, you're not seeking approval, you're seeking results. The process of growth is delicate. It's like a seed in the soil. It needs time, space, and protection. If you dig it up too early to show people it's growing, you kill it. Your dreams work the same way. They need time to root deep before they can rise. Silence gives them that space. It gives you the freedom to make mistakes, to fail without embarrassment, to learn without judgment. It allows your ideas to evolve naturally, without the pressure of outside voices telling you what should or shouldn't be done. When you move in silence, you also gain power over your emotions. You stop reacting to everything and start responding with purpose. You stop trying to prove your worth to others because you already know it within yourself. You realize that results speak louder than explanations, and when you finally let your work talk, it commands respect, not attention. There's a peace that comes from not needing to broadcast every move. You stop caring who's watching, who's clapping, or who's criticizing. You start working for yourself, not for validation. You begin to enjoy the grind, the quiet nights, the solitude, because that's where transformation happens. The world celebrates the moment of success, but the true magic happens in the silence before it. Moving in silence also sharpens your focus. Without the distraction of other people's opinions, you hear your own voice more clearly. You become more in tune with your goals, your instincts, and your purpose. You begin to trust yourself again, not because others believe in you, but because you've proven to yourself in private that you can follow through. That's a level of confidence no one can give or take away. When you move in silence, your actions start to speak for you. You stop telling people what you're going to do, and you start showing them what you've done. You don't announce your comeback, you just come back stronger. You don't talk about your next move, you make it. And that's why silence is so powerful, because it transforms you from a talker into a doer. There's something magnetic about someone who doesn't reveal too much. People can sense that you're building something, but they can't quite figure out what it is. That curiosity draws attention, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through your discipline and results. Silence creates intrigue. It gives your success a story worth telling. And when the moment finally comes, when you step out of the shadows and into the light, the world won't just see your success, they'll feel it. They'll see the consistency, the patience, the strength that was built in silence. They'll realize that while everyone else was talking, you were transforming. So stop explaining your dreams to those who can't see them. Stop seeking validation from people who've never built anything. Protect your vision like it's sacred, because it is. Move in silence, not out of fear, but out of focus. Let your results roar louder than your words ever could. The world doesn't need another person talking about what they're going to do. It needs more people who show what happens when you stay quiet, stay hungry, and stay unstoppable. Real winners don't announce every step. They prepare in private and let their success speak louder than any words ever could. Because true strength isn't built in the spotlight, it's forged in silence in the hours when nobody's watching, nobody's cheering, and nobody even believes in you yet. That's where real power is born, in the quiet moments of discipline, consistency, and self-belief that no one else sees. While the world is busy posting, talking, and showing off, winners are busy working, improving, and growing. They understand that success doesn't need a witness, it needs commitment. The loud ones crave attention, the real ones crave progress. They don't chase applause, likes, or validation. They know that every second spent explaining their vision to others is a second taken away from building it. They've learned that talk is cheap, anyone can sound motivated, but very few can stay consistent when it gets hard. Winners don't need to convince anyone. They don't seek approval because their focus is not on being seen, it's on becoming great. They don't post their plans, they execute them. And when they finally step out, their results do all the talking. The truth is, success doesn't need to be announced, it demands to be noticed. When you grind in silence, the results become so undeniable that people have no choice but to pay attention. That's what separates those who want attention from those who want achievement. The former talk about what they'll do, the latter show you what they've done. The louder you talk, the less you usually accomplish. But when you work quietly, you build momentum, and momentum creates power, the kind of power that doesn't need validation to be real. Real winners are too focused to broadcast every move. They're too busy learning, adapting, and failing forward. Because behind every achievement, there's 100 moments of struggle, doubt, and sacrifice that no one ever hears about. Those sleepless nights, those early mornings, those times you felt like quitting but didn't. That's where character is built, in the silence between effort and reward. When you finally rise, people will call it luck, but you'll know it wasn't. It was hours, months, years of private work, unseen, unheard, but never unfelt. When you prepare in private, you free yourself from pressure. You're not performing for anyone. You're not trying to prove anything. You're simply doing the work because you know it's what must be done. You're competing with your old self, not the world. You're learning in silence so you can dominate in public. Every failure, every mistake, every lesson is fuel, not for a post, not for validation, but for mastery. Real winners understand this. They don't waste energy explaining their process. They let the results prove it. There's also a deep sense of peace that comes with moving in silence. You stop comparing yourself to others because your progress is private. You're not caught in the trap of measuring your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20. You start to realize that real confidence doesn't shout. It's calm, steady, and unshakable. You no longer need to tell people you're grinding because your results will make it obvious. You don't have to convince anyone that you're destined for more because your actions will confirm it. Winners also know that premature exposure kills progress. The moment you talk too much about your plans, you invite doubt, envy, and distraction into your path. People will give opinions, criticize, or worse, drain your energy with their disbelief. Silence, on the other hand, protects your dream. It keeps it sacred. It keeps you focused. Every masterpiece needs its creation phase, that quiet period before the world ever sees it. If you show it too early, you risk losing it before it's complete. That's why winners move in shadows. They nurture their goals until they're ready for the world's light. Preparation in private also teaches humility. When no one's watching, you learn to work for yourself, not for recognition, not for praise. You start to understand that greatness is earned, not performed. And when you finally achieve it, you don't need to boast, your results are enough. True confidence doesn't come from showing people what you're doing. It comes from knowing that no matter who's watching, you're doing what needs to be done. When you work in silence, you also gain control of your emotions. You stop reacting to every distraction, every opinion, every noise. You start choosing peace over validation, focus over attention, growth over approval. You realize that the more you talk, the more you leak energy. Every word you spend explaining could have been another step toward execution. Winners understand that silence isn't emptiness, it's power contained. And when the time finally comes, when you've put in the work, faced the failures, and built something solid, you won't need to tell anyone. Your results will arrive like thunder after lightning. People will ask where you came from, how you did it, why they didn't see it coming. And that's the beauty of silent preparation. No one sees the grind, but everyone sees the glory. They'll see the success, but not the sacrifice. The achievements, but not the pain. The confidence, but not the countless private battles you had to win to get there. So keep your head down and your spirit high. Stop announcing every move, every plan, every goal. Let people underestimate you. It only makes your comeback louder. Work quietly, stay disciplined, and trust the process. Because when your time comes, the world won't just hear about you. They'll feel your presence. That's the mindset of a real winner. Quiet in the climb, relentless in the pursuit, unstoppable in the outcome. No noise, no show, just results that speak volumes. So stay silent, stay focused, and let your success do the talking. When the noise fades and the lights go out, that's when the real work begins. That's where legends are made, not in front of crowds, but in front of mirrors, in the quiet hours when no one is cheering, no one is clapping, no one even knows your name. That's where you build the kind of strength that can't be shaken. The truth is, silence is not empty. It's full of answers, it's full of growth, it's full of the whispers of your potential calling you higher. You see, anyone can talk about success. Anyone can post motivational quotes or announce their plans to the world. But very few can grind day after day without recognition, without applause, without validation. The world celebrates the finish line, but champions fall in love with the journey. They don't need to prove anything to anyone because their mission is personal. They're not fueled by noise, they're powered by purpose. You want to change your life? Stop announcing your dreams. Start working on them. Stop explaining your goals. Start executing them. Stop worrying about who's watching. Because when you're truly focused, it won't matter who doubts you, ignores you, or underestimates you. You'll be too busy building something they can't even imagine. There's power in keeping your moves private. There's peace in walking your path in silence. Because when you remove the need for validation, you free yourself to grow without limits. You stop caring who believes in you and start believing in yourself. That's when everything shifts, because the moment you stop needing to be seen, you start becoming unstoppable. Every successful person you admire, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the creators, they all have one thing in common: a period of silence. That season where they disappeared, where no one heard from them, where they seemed to vanish. But what people didn't see was that they were training, studying, planning, improving. They were building the foundation for the success you see today. That silence was their strategy. Their quiet time was their weapon. So, if you're in that silent season right now, grinding, learning, struggling, don't be discouraged. Don't think you're falling behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Every step you take in private is preparing you for your public victory. Every late night, every early morning, every quiet hour of effort is an investment in the person you're becoming. The world may not notice now, but one day they'll see everything you've built, and they'll call it overnight success. But you'll know better. You'll know it took discipline, sacrifice, and years of silent consistency. You must understand something. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. The lion doesn't announce when it's about to attack. It moves quietly, strategically, with purpose. Be that lion, move in silence, work in silence. Let your success roar when it's time. Stop talking about what you're going to do and start showing them what you've already done. And yes, it will get lonely. People won't understand. They'll wonder why you're distant, why you're quiet, why you're not sharing everything. But that's okay, because you're not living for their understanding. You're living for your evolution. Every distraction you cut, every secret you keep, every plan you protect, it all adds up. The less you talk, the more you'll grow. The more you focus, the faster you'll rise. When your success finally arrives, let it speak for you. Let your results tell the story. You won't need to say a word. Your actions will echo louder than any announcement ever could. They'll look at you and say, "Where did this come from?" And you'll smile because you'll know exactly where. From the silence. From the grind no one saw. From the nights you worked while they slept. From the mornings you got up when you didn't feel like it. So stop explaining. Stop defending. Stop justifying. You owe no one an explanation for your silence. Protect your peace. Protect your focus. Protect your energy. Because not everyone deserves access to your vision. Some things are too sacred to share until they're complete. This is your reminder: stay quiet, stay hungry, stay disciplined. Every day you stay consistent, you're one step closer to the life you've been dreaming of. Every sacrifice, every moment of doubt, every lonely night is shaping you into the person capable of handling what you've asked for. The world might not see it yet, but it will. And when it does, it won't be because you talked about it. It'll be because you lived it. One day, they'll tell your story. They'll call you lucky, gifted, or chosen. But you'll know the truth. You were just silent, focused, and relentless. You didn't talk, you worked. You didn't seek attention, you built something worth attention. So keep moving quietly. Let the noise around you fade. Keep your head down and your heart steady. The loudest success is born in the quietest grind. Don't let the world rush your process. Don't let doubt steal your vision. When your time comes, and it will, step out with confidence. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. Because you didn't need the world to believe in you. You needed to believe in yourself long enough to make it happen. Remember, this silence is not the absence of sound, It's the presence of strength. The world may not hear you now, but one day they'll feel your impact. So stay quiet, stay focused, and let your results make the noise.